Molly.
I'm Julie.
And I'm Jen.
And welcome to Folks Forever, a Lois and Clark rewatch podcast.
We're three fans who've been loving LNC since 1993.
Each week we'll recap one episode and talk about at least one LNC related topic.
If you would like to learn more about who we are, how we became folks, and or how we became friends, check out our intro episode.
Today we're going to be discussing Season 2, Episode 2, Wall of Sound. We'll also be talking about those adorable Saturday night skit promos that used to run on ABC.
I have a silly story about this outfit. I bought this suit, like this little suit jacket, and the little skirt because I thought it looked like Lois's from this episode, the very first scene. And I was so excited about this suit jacket because I was going to cabaret in Chicago, and I was I was by far the youngest folk going. And I was like, I gotta have something that makes me look older. I gotta go shopping. And I found this, and I thought I looked so like grown up. And looking back at the photos now, I'm like, no, I did not.
Oh,
I did not. But
wow.
yeah, this is my outfit, my Lois outfit.
That's your Lois Lane knock 'em dead outfit.
Yes.
Wall of Sound first aired on September 25th, 1994. Considering the theme of this episode, we can't not talk about music. So, some of the US Billboard hits from September 1994. You had I'll Make Love to You by Boys to Men. That was number 1 this week. All I Want to Do by Sheryl Crow was sitting at number 3. At number 8, you had Can You Feel the Love Tonight from The Lion King. Another Night by Real McCoy was number 17. And if you think you don't know that song, put it on. And if you do not start dancing, then you are not a child of the 90s. A few other gems in the top 40 included I'll Stand By You by The Pretenders and Crazy by Aerosmith. And I also wanted to mention some of the bands and singers that made their debut in 1994 include Oasis, Elliott Smith, Aaliyah, Weezer, Bush, Outkast, and the Foo Fighters.
Wall of Sound was directed by Alan J. Levi, who previously directed The House of Luther. It was written by Lois and Clark producer John McNamara. And this was the first episode McNamara wrote, but he'd go on to write 9 episodes in total over the remainder of the show.
Every Lois and Clark episode had a title. Wall of Sound is, of course, the name of A, the song the villain Lenny Stoke sings in this episode, and B, the name of the weapon he uses with the glove. But Wall of Sound is also a music recording technique developed by Phil Spector in the 1960s. It's actually a real thing, and you can Google it. Before we get into our more detailed discussion of Wall of Sound, we'll be giving our very own summaries in 16 words or less. Mine is, the only thing scarier than someone toppling buildings using sound? Lois, when she's upset.
Ooh, yeah.
Nice.
Stay clear.
Watch out.
What's yours, Julie?
Lois goes undercover as a trashy groupie to stop a crazy rock star from destroying Metropolis.
Mine is the sound episode. Lois loses Kurth's nomination to Clark, attends awards as his date, hair up. Gotta get the important stuff in.
Nice.
I don't care about anything except for them going on their little
It's their first
sort of
date.
Kind of
Sort
their
of.
date. Nah, kind of as coworkers.
No, you got the rival. They're going out to dinner. You got the pilot with the ball. But I know she said that wasn't a date. But
This one they did call a date, technically.
technically,
Yeah.
yeah, just no
Will
kissing
you
or
be
anything.
my date?
Mhm.
Will you be my date?
Hmm.
But it wasn't a romantic date. It was like a partnership.
Yeah, they
date.
went to that magic show together in Illusion. So
Mhm.
they've gone to things. But yeah,
But
together.
that was a lead.
Hey.
We're getting technical here. Okay.
Well, we were all there when this episode first aired, and I have a few memories of watching this one back in the day. One was I was obviously very excited for this episode. One thing I remember is that for years, I thought in that scene where Jimmy says it's the first sound that can put a whole room to sleep, and Lois says, well, I think Yanni did it first. I would thought she said yawning, like, huh,
Huh.
because that makes sense because like if you're in like a seminar or something kind of boring and one person starts to yawn, it sort of sets off a wave of repeat. So that's what it meant.
Yeah,
And I'd never heard of Yanni,
That's
the
true.
the artist. So
yeah, that's very true.
the other thing that I remembered as I was watching it this time, I'm like, I feel like when this first aired, it was warm outside because I just remember feeling like this vibe of warmth watching Lois and Clark walk down the street at the beginning. So, in case anyone out there
Okay.
does not know, you can Google the day of any date in your city and find out what the temperature was. And sure enough, it was 84 that day on September 25th, 1994. Well, those are my memories. How about you, Jen?
Let's see. Well, I remember the leather outfit that Lois wore. I hated her makeup. I remember just thinking that why did they have to do that? I get it because she's going undercover. Hot take, I conversely loved her Kurth Awards hair and dress and makeup and everything. I think I don't know, did a lot of people not like it? Because I was obsessed with it.
I thought the dress was gorgeous.
Mhm.
I
Hmm.
thought that was really
You
pretty.
didn't like the hair?
The hair was okay.
The back
You
of the
know,
hair was like,
I don't.
but the front looked really good.
mhm. I just remember that being a really popular hairstyle back then. And when you were getting dolled up, like when the adults were getting dressed up, I mean, they would do that little hairdo. And I
Mm-hmm.
just thought it was so pretty. I wanted to be an adult and I wanted to do my hair like that. Have I ever done it as an adult? Absolutely not. But I thought she looked gorgeous. I don't remember wearing out my tape for this one, guys. Sorry. If anyone really loves this episode, I still rewatched it because what else was I going to do on a Monday afternoon after school got out? Like, I was going to watch the episode. So, and the one line that I remember obsessing over after this one aired was, what do you do? Stay up late memorizing maps? And then her going, so they had such cute banter. I loved that. And I still love it. So that's all I really remember.
For me, my largest memory of this comes down to my absolute love of the TV show MacGyver. I was so excited that my two TV worlds were colliding because obviously Stoke was the evil Murdoch from that show. For those of you who didn't watch MacGyver, you should watch it. It's a great show. The crazy thing is that I had never made the Terry connection until partway through this episode when Stoke and Linda, quote Linda, were talking and sitting and she was acting all ditzy. I remember sitting there and the light bulb going off and going, wait a second, is Terry, wait, did she play Penny Parker? For some reason, it never clicked until they were sitting together at the table.
You will have to explain nothing. When I unleash my production on the world, there will only be applause.
Oh, MacGyver, I still can't believe it. You know, they even put a star on my dressing room door.
I'm proud of you. I'm sure there was a lot of competition for this part.
I don't know. Right out of the blue, they called my agent Sergio. Don't tell me it doesn't pay to have good representation. And Jacques, the director, he's so sweet. You know, he was a dancer himself before he got in a car accident. Kind of tragic, huh?
And also, this dang song has been stuck in my head ever since the original airing of this episode. And I love it.
It's a great song.
Is it?
It is.
It is.
Okay.
As we explained in our season 2 preview episode, we had to make up our own episode titles during the first 2 seasons so that we could label our VHS tapes. My fake title for this episode was Murdoch Soundman. For those MacGyver people.
Sandman.
Murdoch Soundman. I didn't know his name, just Murdoch, the Murdoch guy.
Nice.
Well, my fake title was Wall of Sound. Seriously, there were
What?
3 times in
Hey.
season 2 when I got it exactly right,
Wow.
and this was one of them.
I think I don't really remember, but I probably had something like sound guys. It was the sound episode.
It's the sound.
Sound?
What's on?
Jen, tell us about the guest stars of this episode.
Sure. We've got Michael DeBar. He played Lenny Stoke, and he actually hosts Little Steven's Underground Garage on Sirius XM Radio on Channel 21, if anyone's interested. He's also been on, as Julie mentioned, a couple episodes of MacGyver, To Sir with Love, California Solo, and My Guide to Becoming a Rock Star, Melrose Place, lots of little appearances on shows like Gilmore Girls, Charmed, Just Shoot Me, Ellen Roseanne. Our next guest star is Scott Colomby. Colomby. I don't know how to say his last name. If anyone out there knows, please let us know. So he played Dr. Derek Camden. He was best known for Caddyshack, Porky's, and Demolition Man. We also have Corinna Everson. She played Amazon Woman #1. She is a bodybuilder, trainer, writer, host, athlete, and actress. She's known for Double Impact, Natural Born Killers, which I'm pretty sure we had another guest star from that as well, and Ballistic. She's also done some appearances on well-known shows such as Charmed and Home Improvement. Richard Balin played Dr. Green, and I don't know if I'm massacring these names, guys, so feel free to jump in and whatever. He's best known for Graduation Day. He has recently done, like back in 2021, one episode of NCIS Los Angeles. Pamela Roberts played Mayor Sharp. She was in an episode of This Is Us, 5 episodes of Better Things, and an episode of Criminal Minds. And in 2021, she did one episode of Punky Brewster. I forgot that they did a little reboot of that show. How fun. Richard Gross played Wino #1. He is best known for Phenomenon, A Man Apart, and Swiss Army Man. Barry Cutler played Wino #2, best known for Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo, Superboy, and Knight Rider. And last but not least, we have Erica Andrich, and she played Amazon Woman #2. She's best known for Batman Returns and Nightstand. The end.
There were some random Los Angeles radio hosts as well. They were the cops that kind of flew back, like flew in the air.
Oh,
I don't
interesting.
know why it was them. It seemed like it was on purpose or something, but they threw these 2 radio hosts in there, Mark Thompson and Brian Phelps from
Okay.
KLOS Radio in Los Angeles. Apparently,
I think
they
I've
wind
heard
up
of
in
them.
various TV stations
Yeah, Mark
doing
Bryan.
things. Yeah.
That sounds familiar, but I would never have known that if they were on them.
No.
Whee! As our episode begins, Lois and Clark are walking to work one sunny day, and Clark mentions that the Kurth Award nominations are going to be announced tomorrow. And Lois is trying to play it cool, but Clark reminds her that she's been nominated every year, so obviously she's going to get nominated again, and she's, maybe she's excited, and she's just like, oh, maybe I did buy a dress. I could break it in that night. You want to go with me as my date? And he's like, do I? Hell yeah. No, actually, he plays it really cool. He doesn't do the thing he did in the pilot where he asks, oh, is this a date? And being annoying about it. No,
Yeah,
he's just like, really? Okay, sure. So they're walking past a tuxedo shop, coincidentally. So Lois tells him he might as well go in and get his tuxedo. And she is going to go into the bank, and she doesn't seem to know that if you go into a bank on a TV show, there is going to be a hostage situation or a robbery. It is inevitable, but go for it, Lois.
Yep.
Cash your check, whatever. So they split up, and a few minutes later, we see Clark walking out of the tuxedo shop. I noticed something today. I could not believe
You noticed
it.
what I noticed, I'm sure.
Okay, I have a photo for Jen's sake.
Uh-huh. I know.
How did you
because-
know I wouldn't know what you're talking about?
Well, I
No,
know
it-
you're looking
it's
for cigars.
significant.
It's completely okay, but let me just
fair.
hold
You
So
just know
as
me that
he's-
well.
on.
It's something that comes up a whole season later. Is this what I'm thinking?
Oh,
Is this what you
yes,
saw?
No, I can't.
Okay, it's the same thing.
Here we
Because
go.
this rewatch was the first time I noticed too. I was like, oh no.
Okay, so as he comes out of the tuxedo shop, he kind of turns and looks the other way. And as you see that, right here is a suit. And I'm like,
Uh-huh.
that
Yeah.
suit looks familiar. So,
Yeah. That
back.
suit is what he wears.
Yep.
Yep.
And
You're
here we
good.
go. That is him at the clone wedding. Same tie,
Wow. They
same little
changed the
pin,
flowers.
same collar, same except for the flower.
The corsage is
Exact same suit. Yeah.
different.
And while logistically, I'm sure
Wow.
that they just had that in wardrobe and put it out, but I like to
Hmm.
think that he walked out of that tuck shop, looked over at that, and thought, if I get
Yes.
married someday, that's the
I'm gonna
suit.
wear that. Yeah.
This is what I was thinking.
Wow.
He's all excited about their first quote date, goes in to find a tux and goes, I think I like that one for our wedding. And
Wow.
mentally,
That
mentally remembers.
nice catch, guys.
So interesting. Yeah.
Never noticed it.
No, I didn't even until this one. There were several new things I noticed at this viewing, so.
I have a producer binder, Paul Jackson's producer binder. It has every revision of the script, starting with the story, the outline, every revision all the way to the final. Let me tell you, I have so much to say about this episode. I'll probably sprinkle it in, but at the end, I have a lot. In the original storyline for this episode, it was not a tux place next to the bank. Clark was going to a shoe repair place next door.
Okay.
Just out of the
Huh.
like for no reason. There was really no reason for it whatsoever, but it was a shoe repair place.
That's
Clark
funny.
being Clark, he's probably chaotically
Yeah,
killed his shoes, so.
apparently. Yeah, that got changed in the very next revision. They were like, no tux place maybe? Question mark.
Julie, what were the dates on these shooting scripts? When did they film these episodes?
So the story was originally written June 20th. The writer's draft, July 8th. The revised beat outline, July 14. Production draft, July 27.
Hmm.
And then all the revisions, August 2nd, 3rd, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 again, and 16.
Hmm.
So it was getting revised while they were shooting because they were shooting the 12th through the 23rd. So this went through a lot of revisions.
So after Clark looks at his future suit, he walks over to the bank and looks in and sees that everyone's on the floor. Sleeping? Dead? He runs straight to Lois and rouses her, asking if she's okay. She's like, oh, what happened? And Clark says he doesn't know, and he helps her to her feet. And then he says that someone has made a big withdrawal, and the camera cuts to a safe that is the door is wide open, and everything apparently has been removed. This bank has been robbed. Cut to the credits, which, it should be noted, are slightly different from Madam X's credits because the starring Terry Hatcher sequence now features a scene from the source rather than from Wall of Sound, which we had in that other episode. But we still see in this version a shot of her dancing in Wall of Sound, which in the prankster will get replaced with a shot of her from I've Got a Crush on You. And then it will go forward from there. Don't know why. Maybe somebody just didn't like this outfit and was like, "Can we get this out of
Hmm.
How about
the
we not?
leather?"
Or maybe it's too trashy for the intro for somebody who's watching for the first time. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe
But
maybe I called because I didn't like it
yeah,
either. Maybe I was just really mad. Hey guys, can we get rid of that? I
Mhm.
had a
I
lot of
do
pull back
have
then.
yeah, I do have the dailies also for this one, a few of the dailies, not all of them. And one of them has the intro, and they're clearly working on it because it's completely different. And it didn't
Hmm.
say starring Terry Hatcher either. It just said Terry
Mm.
Hatcher. So,
So the next day, everyone's at the Daily Planet, and Lois is on the phone trying to get info from the police about the bank robbery, but they aren't giving her anything. She has a pen on her desk that she soon learns is actually a microphone that Jimmy has put there. He has an earpiece that can hear everything that she's saying. He comes over, he tells her all about it, and she's kind of impressed, calling it super hearing for sale. But Jimmy tells her it's not really super hearing because it only works at about 500 feet or less. But I like that Jimmy is coming back with the technology. Harkens back to other Jimmy in Green Green Glow of Home with the beepy watch.
It's a BP watch.
I'm
The
gonna give
signal
Jimmy
watch.
I'm gonna give Jimmy credit wherever I can in this episode, maybe all 2 times, and this is one of them because the rest of the Jimmy in this episode is not my meh. But I like that
You don't
he
like motorcycle Jimmy?
don't like motorcycle Jimmy. I don't
Wow.
like trying to win a Cruz
Okay.
Award Jimmy.
Okay.
I like this.
Aw.
I like Jimmy with the microphone and Jimmy typing like this.
Poor
Oh, geez.
Jimmy.
Yeah. With his 2 fingers. That's how my dad does it.
Yep.
He learns to type pretty quickly by Virtually Destroyed.
Yeah.
He
I
gets
mean,
pretty good.
True.
that's how we all did. We all got on the internet and suddenly became really good at typing. Not with the
Yeah.
correct fingers, but who cares? Just then, Clark comes in. He's holding a videotape, and it's of the bank robbery that he got from the security. I don't know how he got it, but he and Lois and Jimmy go over to watch it. They put it into a VCR, and as they're watching it, Lois and Jimmy begin to get droopy eyes. Clark notices that they look like they're about to fall asleep, and he stops the video to say, "It's the sound." He tells them he thinks the sound from the video, and obviously the bank robbery, is what caused everyone to fall asleep. And he has to kind of make a quick excuse there about, oh yeah, it just caused us to fall asleep because they're like,
Us.
wait, what? How do security cameras from 1994 have sound? I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Well, we
Mine
have talked
don't even have sound at work. They don't have sound.
Really?
We have
Yep.
established Metropolis is a bit different technologic-wise, so I'm going to let it
Yeah.
slide,
Yeah.
but still. Plus, if it had had sound, you would have heard like clunk, clunk as all the people fell to the floor. And nothing.
Uh-huh.
Nothing.
You heard
So
nothing
true.
else. Nothing. Yeah. How would you describe the sound?
It sounds like a VCR playing normal sound.
Mhm.
Yes.
Wait, what?
Yeah. The script said it was eerie, seductive, and almost melodic. I'm like, seductive? That was not seductive.
No. No.
It just
No, it
sounded
was
like
not.
weird static.
Yeah. It wasn't anything
Mhm.
special, but I'm glad too, because it
No.
would have annoyed me then.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, after Clark turns off the sound, all Jimmy can focus on in this video is that one of the bank robbers is wearing a black jacket with like a cross on the back, and Jimmy wonders where this guy got it because Jimmy would also like a biker jacket. And Lois and Clark are looking at him like, what? Jimmy, why?
Uh-huh.
And at the same time, I'm like, yeah, that is weird. But then we see him in a few minutes, he's going to hop on a motorcycle. So is it really that weird? I don't think so.
Yeah. Did he just get this motorcycle and they haven't seen it? Because if they knew
Maybe.
he was riding a motorcycle, they might not think it was so weird. Well, no, he doesn't look like a biker jacket kind of guy.
He wears his
No.
plaid shirt on
So,
the bike. It's
his
all
plaid
it's
shirt.
all something.
In his dorky helmet.
Perry comes in with an announcement. He says someone at the Daily Planet has been nominated for a Kurth Award. Lois is sure that it's her, as it has been for the past how many years. And she even begins to stand up as this announcement is being made, but
So let's have a big round of applause
Embarrassing, he always does this.
for Mr. Clark Kent.
the nomination is actually for Clark. He got nominated for his retirement home scandal piece. Lois is stunned. Clark is actually also stunned. He was not expecting this. Everyone congratulates Clark except Lois until Perry prompts her to do so, in which case she forces out a
Clark, I'm very,
Surprise?
stunned, shocked, in need of oxygen.
Jimmy, meanwhile, reminds everyone that he took the photos for the piece Clark was nominated for, so did he get a mention, maybe? Perry kind of shushes him, but to be honest, I don't think Jimmy's wrong here to want some credit, because the article itself with the photos would kind of mesh together. It might have influenced but still, no. Perry basically tells Jimmy that was your first photo assignment, which really, really,
Was it?
really?
Wait.
Yeah,
Huh?
no. What about Smallville with the Elmer Fudd hat? What about,
Yeah.
Yeah.
what about the pilot where
Yeah,
he's snapping the photos and gets hit on the head? Come on.
exactly.
I have questions. But anyway, the crowd disperses and Clark tries saying something to Lois, but it's clear she's just rattled right now. And she doesn't want to talk about this nomination. She starts talking about the case, the bank robbery, and Clark decides to sort of just go along with what she's saying. And they begin to research. Lois uses her computer database to narrow down the likely suspects to two. There's two people in the world who aren't dead or in the Arctic who know about the science of sounds, and their names are Lenny Stoke and Derek Camden.
That was the part where her screen literally says what her lines are. Is that
I
right?
know.
Can we point that out?
Yes.
I'm sure that's
yes.
probably something Julie was going to bring up later, and I don't want to take that away, but
Totally
I
fine.
wasn't even looking for it, and I was like, she's just reading her screen, but it's an actual
Yes.
mention, like
Oh.
Stokes used to da-da-da-da. She's literally reading word for word on her screen.
It is word for word what's on the monitor. And it's actually interesting in one of the early scripts as well. It really had Lois thrown for a loop and not knowing where to start looking for leads because she was all upset that she hadn't got nominated. And she was the one asking Clark, like, what's the next steps? What do we do? And he was the one who found out all of the information on Camden and Stoke. He called a or a physicist at University of Metropolis, and Lois was all upset with him, angry that he had leads and sources that he was keeping from her and whatever, just because she's all jealous right now. And then the lines that she was saying, like the words that were on this computer screen and everything, those were all his lines in the first
Oh.
script. So it
Oh,
had him
wow.
finding out all of this stuff and her kind of being stupid, kind of like not knowing what to do in the background. Like, what do we do? Oh, you found this information. Oh, all I found out is that police won't talk to me. And then Clark says, well, hey, that's good too. It made
Uh-huh.
her not good at what she's doing and made him the good one. And I think,
Interesting.
they were like, yeah, no, flip this. She's not,
Mhm.
she wouldn't do that. She would be able to find the information. Come on now, guys. And they
Yeah, no
changed it.
kidding.
So then I was like, well, maybe that's why they're on the screen because she didn't know, she didn't know the line. But no, I'm sure that's not why, because they would have had to do that ahead of time. I think they
Mhm.
didn't think anybody was going to see those computer monitors.
No, we were all
They
watching it
should
on
have,
27-inch TVs,
yeah.
10 feet away. We were never supposed to notice it, and now we do, and it's kind of funny. Of the many mistakes in these episodes, I sort of think the ones where stuff's on the screen are kind of
Those are,
funny.
Mhm.
I always like the
It's
screen
kind of
ones.
there.
They're funny.
So Lois and Clark head out to the streets of Metropolis, talking about how they're going to track down these guys. But Clark has to bring up the awards. He now asks Lois, since they were planning on going to the Kurths together anyway, now does she want to go as his date? And this sends Lois into another kind of meltdown where she just kind of goes off about how she cannot believe that he got nominated for his piece and she didn't get nominated for her drug scandal story. Why not? Were the Kurth judges taken over, their minds were taken over, or did they lose her story? She just cannot. And then eventually she kind of catches herself and manages to realize that she's acting a little bit petty, and she apologizes
A little.
a little bit. And they go back to talking about the case they're working on. Should they focus on Lenny or Derek? But just then, Clark's super hearing picks the worst moment to pick up a sound. And he's got to get out of there. And so he suggests that Lois and he split up. She is not having this.
Oh, I get it. You've got a lead that you want to take care of on your own.
Look, no, that's not it.
No, really, Clark, it's fine. It's
Look,
fine.
you go after Stoke, I'll find Camden, and we'll meet back at the Planet, okay?
Right. And then you'll have your next ward all sewn up. Notice how I'm not getting mad about this? Do you know why? 'Cause I'm a lot bigger than that.
And ends up kicking over a garbage can.
Yes.
It's funny.
She likes to kick things.
Would you guys have been jealous if you had been Lois and you were expecting to get the award?
Yes, I mean, I've always felt like I think what Lois is feeling is more of a thing we would have felt as kids and teens because I definitely related to it then. I'm not saying I don't sometimes still feel that, but I think as an adult you are in enough situations where you don't get what you want that you kind of make peace with it. But if you think about it, Lois has been nominated 5 times, they say. Won 3 times. At least nominated 4 or 5 times. She's won 3 years in a row, the last 3 years. So this has become a pattern that she has come to expect. And considering the year that she has had with all these things happening to her, watching her fiance die in front of her ex-fiance, the planet destroyed, all the things. And they go back to work finally, and things are finally going back to normal. And in her mind, she's probably thinking, it's September again. We're going to have these curths again. I worked really hard this year and have been through all this stuff. And here it comes. And then to not only not have that happen again, but her standing up and being about to accept this award. And then suddenly it's like, nope, it's Clark. It's Clark. She has
that's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. And her streak is broken and she just needs to process this. And they're kind of making that hard for her because he's like, so do you want to go with me now? And I'm like, come on, give her a day to process this. So I've always understood it. I don't think she's really jealous. I think she's hurt because she thought that her piece was really good and she just wanted that recognition, which is a very normal thing. So
I don't know. I could relate to it with the Parker Pup stuff that I've done over the years. I've been in a few competitions where it really crushed me to not win. When you get you could taste it. I feel like she had the dress. She was ready. She thought she had it in the bag. And I was like, been there. That was recent. That was not when I was a kid. So
have you ever kicked over a garbage can in anger?
Jealousy? Are you a jealous person, Julie?
I don't think I'm a jealous person. I don't think so. I just go with the flow. It is what it is.
Good for you. Good for you.
Okay. A minute later, we find out what Clark must have been hearing. It is the sound, the one from the videotape. It's back, and another robbery is in progress. There are 4 guys with black jackets and helmets, and one of them says,
All right, boys, let's go liberate some stones.
Right.
And into a antique/jewelry shop they go, robbing away. Superman shows up and confronts the one guy who's still out on the street. This man points a kind of gun at Superman, which at first does nothing until he turns a little knob and points it right at Superman and says, "This sound's for you." This sound blast causes Superman to kind of do the, oh no, kryptonite act, and he stumbles to the ground. It's not kryptonite, but he does have the hand to the forehead and all the things.
Totally.
Anyway, so we cut to commercial, and when we come back, the man with the sound gun is telling Superman that this sound is soon going to completely immobilize Superman. But then we hear some sirens, and the cops have shown up, so this guy turns around, he's distracted by the cops, and Superman uses that chance to fly off and escape. The sound man, he turns around back to where Superman was and says,
Bye-bye, Superman. You'll be hearing from me.
I love their dumb little, hearing from me. Okay.
In the script here, it has Superman flying away back to his apartment, and he crashes through his window. They did not do that, and I'm sad. I want to see him crashing through the window.
Expensive thing to happen.
That really
that's
nice
an expensive.
the friends looking window? What? Why would you do that to the set piece?
I know. And I'm sure that's what they said when they read the script. They were probably like, absolutely not. 1, expensive and long day of stunts. And 2, that window is awesome. No.
Yeah.
We're not doing
Agreed.
that. So, yes.
Okay.
But I would have liked to see it.
The next day at the planet, Lois and Perry are talking about this robbery, and somebody else works at the planet and wrote a story about this robbery. I don't know who this Jacqueline person
What the
is,
heck?
but apparently she covered this story. So Perry and Lois are talking about how they can't believe that this guy was able to sort of subdue Superman, but Lois says that knowing Superman, he'll find a way to stop this guy. Clark comes in, and oh my, he is in pain. His head is, I don't know, throbbing. He still has residual something from the sound blast yesterday. When asked about it, he excuses it by saying he just has a little headache. So Lois is still miffed with Clark and basically says to Perry that, Clark decided he'd rather go chase leads without me. So fine, we're going to work separately on this story. Perry starts to say something, but just then we're interrupted by the voice of the sound man. He apparently now has little speakers everywhere, and he is able to broadcast his message to the entire city. He says that he's created a sound tax. He wants 50% of all money from the Metropolis banks to be put outside and wait for his cronies to come pick him up, or else. He also has a special message just for Superman. Try and stop me. Please. So Jimmy also, because everybody hears this, so Jimmy also hears this, and he runs off saying he is going out to get some prize-winning pictures for Perry. And I'm just like, pictures of what?
The speaker?
Well, he does end up going to the antique store and taking some pictures, but I don't understand, Jimmy. You're just wasting a bunch of film on I don't know what. So Lois and Clark are still going back and forth on which suspect to pursue. Lois thinks Lenny Stoke, a rock musician, is behind it because she says it all fits. He's, a rock and roll guy. It's the theatricality of it all. Look at me, blah, blah, blah. But Clark thinks it's the other guy, Derek Camden, because he has more technical knowledge and is a little bit more renowned in the community of, I don't know, sound people. So they argue a bit.
People.
The sound people. It seems clear that the only logical thing for them to do is to go their own way on this. But actually, Clark doesn't really want to, and he asks Lois to reconsider working together, and she says, no way. As she heads off, Perry, who has heard this whole conversation go down, tells Clark,
Son, I've seen her like this before. The doors are locked, the alarm's on, and you ain't getting in.
I love Perry.
We cut to the building that got robbed the day before, and a bunch of people are standing outside just like watching some police officers investigate, and they're like trying to get one of the speakers down off the building, and Jimmy's now there, snapping a bunch of photos of random onlookers. Suddenly, Jimmy spots that biker jacket from the video, and he sees the guy putting speakers on walls, sticking them up there, and he, just in case you haven't been paying attention, he literally says out loud, the jacket from the bank. He runs over to a motorcycle, and you're like, is he stealing this? What the? Oh, Jimmy rides a motorcycle now. Okay. And
he's cool now.
Hops on it, puts his helmet on, and says, Kurth Award for Outstanding Photography, here I come. And as the guy with the jacket gets into a vehicle, Jimmy zooms after him. Into danger, I assume, because it's Jimmy. But, yeah.
Yeah. Jimmy 2.0 is cool. He has a motorcycle.
He's cool, but incredibly insecure. Incredibly.
Yes. Yes. For sure.
I like him. What can I say?
Oh, you can have him, Jen.
Okay. Thanks.
Back at the Daily Planet, Lois sits at her desk researching Lenny Stoke. Every photo that appears on her computer screen depicts him surrounded by women. Lois notices that all of these women share a common trait. They are all, as Lois calls them, trashy brunettes. Did you guys think they looked trashy?
These poor women that were hired to be in these photos are just very normal-looking women.
Yeah. They were not trashy one bit.
I know.
Justice for the trashy brunettes. Because no, they looked fine to me. Okay, you could have gone as a normal Lois and it would have probably been fine.
Right, exactly.
So Clark meets Camden's doctor to go over Camden's medical records. He learns that Camden was released to Stoke, that there was a business venture in the works, and that his last known address was ... the Stoke Club. Couldn't this have just been a simple phone call? He had to meet up to find out just the address.
We had to find out that there's now a little cafe outside the Daily Planet.
I know. I'd eat
Yeah.
there. I love that.
So Clark decides to head to the Stoke Club. He talks with a waiter there, one with a striking bald head and a rather fake-looking spider tattoo on his face. He finds out that Camden was living in the back room, prompting him to go investigate further. As he ventures into the back room, a buff female security guard notices and follows him inside. Inside, he sees this index card posted up on a bulletin board, but something is blacked out on it. Upon scanning it with his X-ray vision, he discovers a random phone number. This must be important. Even though it has no name, which is kind of weird, just a phone number. Why didn't the guy just throw it out? You scratch out the phone number, but just leave it posted? I thought that was
You
kind
leave
of
it posted
weird.
up there. That is weird.
So, the security guard enters the room and kicks him out after he gives some lame excuse saying that he was just looking for a bathroom. Did you guys notice that this security lady, who I'm just going to call Gladiator Woman, I don't know, she's got a stick of gum on her arm? Like she's got that band
On her
going
band.
around, and there's a
On the
stick
band,
of
yes.
gum. Just a stick of gum. And then in the second scene, she like pops it in her mouth. I guess she doesn't have pockets. She just has a
She's an
stick of gum on her
interesting
arm.
one. She's chewing on a cigar later on, but
Yes.
yeah.
Ew.
Well, I thought it was funny. She came in and called out Clark, but then she made her crony girl deal with Clark. Actually, she's like, "Snap, you go get him, toss him
You
out."
do it. Yeah. So he's now kicked out of the room. So as he's walking through the club, he trips and bumps into someone and apologizes until he looks up and sees that it is Lois. Or is it? She is undercover as you guessed it, a trashy brunette rock groupie. Leather biker shorts, leather top, fake rose tattoo on her arm, massively teased hair. Aquanet has definitely entered the chat. What did you guys think of this look?
Not good.
The hair is kind of given off the prankster hair too, where her hair is like really big in the beginning of that episode. I'm not a fan of that look. It's worth a mention here that in the original script, all the way up until almost the final, she did not have a tattoo on her arm. It was a nose ring that she was supposed to have. I'm thinking maybe once they got the wardrobe and they saw, the top and the sleeveless arms, they were like, ooh, maybe a tattoo is cool. So Clark is shocked by her appearance and says,
Why are you dressed like this?
You're too much competition for me, Clark, so I'm chucking my career and becoming a crew.
Clark then tries to tell her about his lead, but just then the music starts and the concert has begun, so Lois quickly leaves, saying that she has her own lead and see you at the finish line. We gotta talk about this song here. This song that Stoke sings, Wall of Sound, obviously, is so good. I'm thinking Jen doesn't like it from
I just
earlier.
don't.
I love
I
it.
don't not like it. It's just when I hear it, it reminds me of the episode as a whole, and I'm just, if I could have any episode, this just would not be the one. I'm not saying I wouldn't choose it over the boxing episode.
This song, I think, is a favorite of many folks. People like it. I think, in general, it is not a favorite of my husband's, I will say, because I love it so much, and anytime I watch, it is just stuck in my head, and I'm singing it for days on end. I will randomly just be like, "Awake my children!" Wow! And he'll just be like, "Stop it." I've been
That's so
doing it
funny.
all week, and it's the guitar riffs that I'm doing. I'm like, He's like, "Okay, enough."
Oh, your
I'm like,
poor
"I'm
husband.
sorry. It's been stuck in my head for like 30 something years. It's so
Okay,
good."
Chris, if you're out there, Chris, if you're listening, I'm with you on this one a little bit.
It is highly rare for an original made-up song on a TV show or movie to be a banger, but this one
Yes.
and Zoom 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 from Xenon Girl of the 21st Century
Oh.
might be the two songs that actually pass as being good songs.
Stoke is up on the stage singing, and Lois rudely tries to push her way to the front of the crowd, but is completely unsuccessful, getting knocked around. The female security guard sees this and forces Lois to the back. Poor Lois. She ends up bribing some big buff guys with $100. Did you see that it was $100?
I
What?
figured it would have to be to get 6 or 5 guys to agree to do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, it was like five guys. So, but still, $100. Dang. So she
Yeah.
bribes them to get her up to the front. Breaking through the crowd, they clear a path and she starts dancing all sexy for Stoke on her own little solo dance floor, front and center. The security guard sees this, that gladiator woman, and goes to put a stop to it. But Stoke is like, heck no, and like waves her off, like, I'm digging this lady. Let her be, because hello, he thinks it's hot. The song ends and he hands over his guitar pick to Lois.
Which is
I still
basically an
say,
engagement ring if you give your guitar pick to a woman.
I think it is. I think it is.
Did we mention right before he came out, they made an announcement that this was his first time appearing at the club in 2 years,
Yeah, 2 years.
which makes me think that this is sort of his, like, I've been working on this sound whole thing for however long. I'm about ready to pull the trigger on it. Well, I've already started, and I'm about to take down Metropolis. Gonna go out with a bang. I'm gonna put on, I'm gonna sing this song one last time for my fans.
Yeah, but like maybe
Bold.
don't write and sing a song about the wall of sound when there's some sound guy making, crazy stuff going on in Metropolis. Probably not a good idea to be singing a song about, buildings burning and Armageddon and sound and not,
Yeah, he
hmm.
might as well just be up there singing, I'm the sound man. Yes, it's
Yes.
me.
Big
Yeah.
neon arrows pointing to the guy who's singing the song. Yeah.
It's me.
Shake those buildings, knock
Thanks.
them down.
Yes. We need to just make up our own like new verse.
Yeah.
Uh, so while all of this is going on, Jimmy is outside following those biker jacket guys still, taking photos, and ends up getting captured. Jimmy, come on now. He gets captured and he goes, I was just wondering where you got your jacket. Mm-hmm. That's not gonna work, guy. Not gonna
I
work.
like when he gets caught, he goes, "Hi."
Yeah. Hi.
He's so cute.
Yeah,
He's
but
so cute. I'm sorry.
in a way, he's acting non-threatening and kind of stupid
Yeah.
so that maybe the guys will just think he's out there taking pictures for photography class or something. But luckily,
Mhm.
well, not luckily for him, but they are smarter than he.
They're not dumb.
Nah. Back at the Stoke Club, Lenny is now sitting down with Lois, or AKA Linda. He's rambling on and on about their shared connection, blah, blah, and she's all doe-eyed and ditzy, and I love it. For some reason, I love it when she's ditzy and undercover and stupid. Stoke goes in for a kiss, and she causes a distraction by spilling her drink on him, all the while planting Jimmy's spy pen in his jacket pocket. The gladiator woman tells him he has a message, and he leaves. I will say, in one of the revised scripts, this was a bit different. Lois did not spill her drink on him in order to get the spy pen into his jacket pocket. As he was leaving, Lois suddenly pulls him into a long, hard kiss. And while in the embrace, she slips the pen into one of his shirt pockets. Then she breaks the kiss, saying, Don't forget me. Would you guys have wanted
I
to see
mean,
that?
I wouldn't want to see it, but I feel like that would have worked better.
So I know that Clark has used kissing as a distraction back with Tony Taylor. Does
Hmm.
Lois except for kissing Superman, does Lois ever kiss anybody else as a ploy on the show?
Um, the only kiss I'm remembering is Clark as the old guy in fourth season.
No, no,
Is
no, no.
there,
You didn't
but
say that. I'm gonna pretend you didn't say that. Nope, nope, nope.
the old
Clark is the old
guy.
guy. What? Wait, what? What episode is
Body
that?
That's,
switching
yeah, that's
monkeys.
Oh,
fourth season.
ew, ew.
Monkey, the body switching monkeys. Um, does she? Uh,
I feel like she'll,
I can't think of one,
she, you know,
but there has to be, right?
as we've called it in the past, or the show has called it in the past, she exploits her femininity by wearing more revealing outfits. But when it comes to actual physical stuff, she's very, I'm gonna spill my drink on you. And she does it with Elliot
Mm-hmm.
Gould in Witness. I'm gonna be thinking about this because I feel
Yeah.
like she usually doesn't want to get physical
Yeah,
with
she's
somebody for a story.
all right. Now we see that Stoke has entered his crazy underground lair and he puts on this power glove, very Nintendo power glove type kind of thing. He turns on a monitor and watches a press conference the mayor is giving, saying that she will not be negotiating with his outrageous demands. Seeming pretty unbothered, honestly, he tells the gladiator woman to clear out the club and maybe get him some tea.
And this mayor is not the same mayor from last year and will also not be the same mayor next year. They just love going through their mayors on this show. We had Sonny Bono before, and now it's Mayor Sharp.
Yes, Mayor Sharp. The whole time this is going on, Lois is trying to get that stupid spy earpiece to work unsuccessfully. I'm assuming you guys noticed the Lois and Clark theme playing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not working for her, and then she ends up getting kicked out. The gladiator woman calls her sweet face. So once everyone clears out of the club, Lenny grabs his microphone, saying, "Listen up, Metropolis," and then sets off his sound wave thingy, blaring across speakers somewhere downtown, I'm assuming. I don't know, Ninth and Grandview area. The buildings start to shake. This guy means business. He calls the mayor up to let her know his plans to topple all the buildings on the block. Yikes. We then see that Jimmy, poor Jimmy, is tied up and gagged inside one of these buildings, about to crumble. And just as a beam breaks free and is about to smash him, Superman saves the day. He catches the beam and flies Jimmy to safety.
I don't know why I never noticed it before, but when he's flying Jimmy out of this exploding building, it's very pilot. It is. It's got the
It
fire
does,
behind them and
yeah.
they're flying towards the camera.
It was very similar. So Stoke is watching all of this happen on his little monitor, and yet he still doesn't seem very fazed by any of this. Superman kills a few of the speakers with his laser vision, but is unable to get them all before collapsing in pain onto the roof of a car, crushing it inward. More destruction. Superman destroying people's property.
I
Superman.
mean, one less killer
Oh.
vehicle in Metropolis. Eh.
So he then hears that it's a new ultra high frequency, 500 million megahertz, tearing through you, melting that metallic dense nervous system of yours. This is your brain. This is your brain on sound.
So dumb.
In pa-
Sorry.
I'm sure we know what that reference is. I don't know if people now would
yeah.
get that watching.
I don't
Is
think
Molly
so.
talking about this later? Maybe?
Yeah,
I
I would
figured.
hope so.
I figured. Unable to use his lasers any longer, he yanks the steering wheel off of the car and throws it directly at the speakers and takes out 3 of them. That was pretty incredible, Superman. Like, what? That is also part that kind of revised several times in the script. First, it was a manhole cover because he ended up on the ground after falling into the car. He then falls on the ground. He grabs the manhole cover and like tosses it. Then it became a hubcap from the tire. And then they just said, nope, we're just going to leave him on the car. Grab something in the car and throw it. And it became the steering wheel. Stoke says,
You must be quite a pool player. I believe that makes it your shot.
You can't hide forever.
Believe me, I don't intend to.
this whole time, this guy is just sipping on his tea unfazed. Like, what? He just thinks he's going to get away with it all. But also, he took out the speakers that have the sound, but where
He
is
can still talk.
his
Yeah.
sound? Like, he can still talk and hear him. So where is that sound coming from? Is that just a speaker that he hasn't found?
I just figured it was one that was a little bit farther off and wasn't triangulated to like zap Superman, but he could still hear it because of his super hearing. I was thinking that too. I don't know.
Don't pull the thread. Don't pull it.
No, because if we were gonna go
fall
there,
apart.
Yeah, we're gonna go there.
if we're gonna go there, there's this guy projecting his voice upon Metropolis with a distinct English accent.
Yep.
The guy at the club has a distinct English accent, and he's one of two suspects. Could we look in the basement? Could we just look? I mean,
and he sang a song about
just all of the clues.
basically giving all of the clues.
Let's drive out to Echo Canyon and look for clues. No, the clues are right here.
Right, exactly. Guys,
Lois knows. Lois is the smart one in this.
Mhm.
Clark, maybe listen to her and stay at the club and look around with your X-ray vision all over.
Dude,
good grief, Charlie Brown.
He could have stood outside that door to Camden's room and used his X-ray vision to look at all the stuff without getting caught by that lady.
Yeah, he didn't even need to go in. That's a good point. He could have just stood in one spot.
Wowzers, guys.
Oh, Clark.
Every time I watch this, it just strikes me how out of place Clark looks wearing his work shirt and tie to that club. He's like the chaperone at the junior high dance. He just looks so old and stupid. Like, well, like does not belong there at all. Well, of course you got noticed. Of course you got caught.
Yes, that's actually brought up in one of the early revisions. That the waiter guy that he's talking to was like, "Does your mommy dress you?"
Wow.
And I was like, "Oh, they should have kept that. That was cute."
That's
Does
funny.
your mommy dress you?
What do we think Clark should have worn to this club? Not the muscle tee. I don't think that was
not the muscle tee, but like maybe just a black tee. Yeah.
Could have won a spike. Go with spike.
Jeans.
Some leather,
Maybe.
leather pants.
Yeah. Don't grease your hair back though. Don't do that. Just keep your hair looking natural, looking cool.
And take off well, you can't take off the glasses, but
No, don't take off the glasses. No, Molly.
Yeah, Molly.
Didn't mean it.
We are
I didn't mean it.
We are wrecking the show. Don't do it, Clark.
That would have been a time for an earring.
He could have put a fake tattoo on his face.
Yeah. Oh, maybe take the glasses off, but
tattoo the heck out of his
goth
face.
makeup. Like, because if you had like the rings around your eyes, nobody would recognize you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what they should have done. We should have been on the writing staff, guys.
Clark just wearing his Daily Planet clothes.
So it's okay.
It's always I don't think it was a mistake that the show made having him wear that. I just think Clark wasn't thinking.
Yeah.
And they were showing us that Clark's kind of out of place here.
Yes, for sure.
And we'll just go to a Pearl Jam concert in a couple of months, right?
Right.
Oh,
wearing that.
I got lots of comments for that one. Lois arrives back at the planet and sees that Jimmy is using her computer, typing up some notes about his whole ordeal getting captured and rescued and all of that, thinking Perry might want the info. Does he not have a computer on his desk? He must not. I guess I've never really paid that much of attention to that.
No.
Get the boy a computer. Lois speaks volumes without saying a single word. Her facial expressions and irritation is just the best. I freaking love it.
Yeah.
I love when they can just have no dialogue and they're just, it's great.
This was so good. And this is, I think, where I really fell for this Jimmy, guys. I feel like his response to her non-verbal cues.
Yes.
They were so his response was so cute. He's just like backpedaling and he's terrified and it's adorable. It's so cute.
Like super nervous, like, I'm sorry. Yeah. Gets up slowly, like, So she sits down and he sees that she was wearing the receiver for his spy pen and asks how it worked for her. Again, no comment. She gives him a look and just throws it into the trash can. He says,
I can see you're not really into the talking thing right now, so I'm just gonna cut you a wide berth.
and grabs it from the trash can and then says,
Like a couple blocks.
yeah, you might wanna. She rolls her eyes, gets up, and walks over to the water cooler for a drink because this girl needs to take her aspirin. She's had a day. But just then, Perry walks by as he's leaving the office, and he has a nice little remark here of, nice tattoo, Lois.
I always thought he
Or
was
night.
coming in. I always thought this was like 4 or 5 a.m. and he's like on his way in.
You think he's
But I
coming in?
Mm,
Maybe.
but maybe not because no,
I'm thinking
because
the
it's not
concert
even
was
sunrise
late.
yet. Yeah, it's not sunrise
Yeah.
yet because remember they drive the car. Okay, okay. Learned something new.
Sure. Just then, Clark comes barreling down the stairs and asks how her lead was going. She admits that she rammed herself into a dead end and then kind of goes off the deep end a little bit here, or a lot bit here. With Clark getting nominated for the award and not her, it's really caused her to be just this really insecure person. Like,
Clark, have I lost something?
Your fashion sense.
My edge. When did it happen? Is it gone forever? Like socks that go into the dryer but they never come out?
Lois, you're kind of babbling.
I know! See, I never babble.
I'm kidding, you're a brook.
A what? I'm a what?
I love everything about this entire scene. And I will say, I don't have a good recap here. I will be honest, because I love the entire thing. It's great. The babbling, the ranting. How does she think she doesn't babble is my question.
Yeah.
And I
She
love
is
that
a
he calls her
talker.
out on it, like, slightly of,
Well, to be honest, she babbles like a brook this season, but did she do it a lot last season? Or is this sort of a new thing for
maybe.
her?
That's true. Maybe it
She
is
can
a new
babble
thing.
on the phone when she's making an order of size 7B, that's for sure. But like I don't feel like
Yes.
I feel like the babbling was really a season 2 thing.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you are right. It probably is a season 2 thing.
So she probably doesn't even quite realize that she does it yet. And now she does. I don't
Yeah.
know.
He says,
The point is that you are the same reporter that you have always been. Hardworking, dedicated, maybe a little over the top sometimes. You could use a few more vacations, maybe some semblance of a life.
Is this leading anywhere?
Lois, you are the best reporter in the city. You always have been, and you always will be.
Clark.
yeah, so sweet. That kind of
Adorable.
calms her down. I love it. He's so sweet, knowing that she needs some reassurance. So she thanks him for being such a good friend, apologizes for her behavior, and then asks how the Camden search was going. As soon as she realizes that he might know where he is, it's suddenly a we and our story. She is completely invested now. And he's like, wait a second. Where did all this we come from? Well, you said I was the best. So who do you want for a partner? The worst? Good comeback, Lois. What's he gonna say to that? See, he wanted the whole time for her to be partnering with him, and now he's like, wait a second. So just then Jimmy comes over and hands her the receiver again, telling her that it was not working because she had it set for AM radio. Durr. Lois, her response is so cute.
It's a small button.
I love that line. So cute.
That's not in the script.
It's not.
I think that was an ad lib because I didn't see that in any of the scripts. And also,
Good job, Terry
I went-
Hatcher.
now it might not be, who knows, but I went back and I watched the scene again, and it looks like the scene is ending because Clark looks down, and when she says that, he looks up like, oh, wait, what? So I
Oh.
kind of think it might be an ad lib from Terry.
That's cool.
If that's true, good job, Terry. That was a cute little
Yeah,
line.
I love it. Lois and Clark are driving along at night, and we see this car meandering around some old country roads, and we hear them talking. They're discussing their suspects, Camden and Stoke.
Camden had a friend from the hospital, Noemi Valdez. She didn't speak English too well, but she talked about a place he liked to go, Canyon del Sonido.
Echo Canyon.
You know it.
It's famous for the way sound can bounce and carry for miles. State park, no houses, no camping. But there is an old ranger station.
What do you do, stay up nights memorizing maps?
So?
My favorite line. What do you do? Stay up late memorizing maps? So? It's so dumb, but I love that quote. So Lois and Clark get out of the car somewhere seemingly deep in the woods, looking at an old house. Lois trips, and Clark shushes her. And she hilariously goes, "Sorry if my ankle shattering annoys you." I love that. I love her. Clark then points to a guy with a gun. The guy thinks that Lois and Clark are assassins. Lois's response is, "If we were assassins, do you think we'd be this clumsy?" And then goes on to let go of a branch and it flings back into Clark's face and Clark laughs and goes, "She has a point." And they nailed it with the comedic timing with this because
Yes.
this is not a comedy, yet I laughed out loud.
It's pretty funny.
So funny. Lois asks about the sound that impacts Superman. She wants to know what it is. Camden then just goes off something about he stole the power, he's coming for everybody, and nothing can stop him. Stoke is on the phone in his little studio. He threatens the guy on the phone, saying it's time to show what he's capable of. Lois and Clark are now in the car. Lois wonders if they have enough evidence to go to the police. She pulls out her bug and puts it in her ear to see if they can hear anything. They hear people setting up their little stereo things and they plan to destroy City Hall. Lois and Clark are shocked. So Lois and Clark get out of the car and Clark x-rays underground. Clark runs over to Lois and says, "I bet they're getting their power from the city lines underground." Lois thinks it's ridiculous, and then she overhears Stoke in her ear, basically saying that that's exactly what they're doing. And she's kind of taken aback because Clark knew this because he's a great reporter. But no, he saw them and he heard what's going on. Clark says that they need to get inside the club, so Lois goes up and just knocks. 3 girls walk out. And they look like bodybuilders. She tries insulting them, saying that Stoke likes his girls smaller than the average milk cow, which I guess in the 90s, that
Rude.
was rude. That was
Rude.
Lois does a lot of like fellow female shaming in this episode. And
bashing.
It's awful.
It's not very
I don't care for it necessarily.
She just really needs to get them like angry so they can chase her or fight her and cause a distraction, because she's just trying to distract them and get them away from the door.
Get them
so
away
Clark
from the door.
Can go in because Clark needs to sneak it.
Yes.
And she does a good job.
She calls them dumb, basically. Then she does a little karate move and the girls try to go after her.
Yeah.
Lois attacks them with the signs that are sitting out on the sidewalk. And she does this amazing little self-defense move with the remaining Amazon women and finally pulls out the rug from underneath her and she falls.
This scene is so unbelievable. I
Yeah.
can't with this scene. It is so cartoony.
It is.
That Lois could take on these 3 women. I have to assume Clark is back there using his freeze breath and we just don't see it because there's no way.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It's
A
dumb.
rug. What happened to the woman? You think she's got like a neck injury, but she pops up 5 minutes later and goes and sees Lenny, so she's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there.
I don't know.
It's just weird.
She fell and is like, I can't get up. I've fallen and I can't get up.
Or she's like, I fell and I'm not being paid enough to get to.
Right.
Lenny doesn't pay me enough for this crap.
I have to get him tea. I have to defend his. I have to kick out people and to be insulted on top of all that. Ugh.
Yeah, exactly. And it all ends with, "By the way, your roots, they're a little dark."
Again, with
shaming.
Justice
how
for
dare
the
you
poor
not
Amazon gladiator woman.
So in our next scene, Stoke is saying goodbye to City Hall because he's gonna make it go boom. When Clark busts in and turns off the power, we see him rip his glasses and then we see Superman. Lois walks in and goes, "Superman!" But then Stoke comes in, grabs her, and holds her at gunpoint. Superman is thrown back. Turns out his glove is a sonic barrier that's so dense that nothing can get through.
I did catch something this time watching it where Lenny's explaining his glove to Superman, and he's like, "This glove isn't just an affectation; it's actually like it's Sonic." And I'm like, he's like,
This one
"No,
has a
I'm not doing this to
purpose.
be cool. I'm doing this because it will repel you." Haha.
Mm-hmm.
And the power glove. It's so
His
good.
power glove.
Well, in any case, he calls it the wall of sound. And I love that villains always have to explain the details of the thing that causes the problem in this scenario. Like, oh yeah, you see this glove here? This is why I'm protected. This thing right here. Like, I might as well just have a neon sign pointing to your glove so that he knows what he's up against instead of being sneaky and vague and, make him think about it. Anyway, Superman is looking at Lois, and Stoke is like,
Am I missing something? Is there something going on that I'm not aware of? She's your girl, isn't she? Right? That's very romantic. It is unfortunate, however, because she only has 5 seconds to live.
No!
4, 3, 2.
No!
I know, darling, but really you'll see I'm so much more fun.
I love
And
that
then-
because I mean he's right, and if they wouldn't be given these lovey eyes to each other, not that they can help themselves, but if they wouldn't make it so obvious that Lois and Superman are connected like semi-romantically, far fewer villains would be after Lois and we wouldn't have the problems that we do. But you have to make it so dang obvious.
exactly. But we have to tell the audience that they're in love. So, there's also
I think
the
the ending
ratings.
scene puts that into perspective just
Okay.
fine.
Okay, fair.
No, but I love that Lenny picks up on it and makes this snide comment about it. And he's not even that put out. He's like, "Oh, she's your girlfriend. Okay, you guys are in on this together. I thought she liked me. Nah, it's fine. Now I'm gonna kill her. Bye."
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, exactly.
It's good. It's good stuff.
So then what does Superman do? He runs away.
No.
Meanwhile, Stoke pulls Lois into his studio and powers everything on while Superman flies through the sky. We hear a boom, and 2 drunk guys are under a tree discussing the sound they just heard, talking about a sonic boom. I thought it was real cute that they were obviously like drunk NASA researchers or something.
One of them was, at least.
I liked, or one of them at least was, but it was cute.
This scene is kind of a weird one because there are very few scenes throughout the series where we just encounter random people that have nothing to do with anything. This and the scene in our last episode where Superman's flying and he hits the radio and you just see the random woman with her radio going, "Oh, where'd my sound go?" And then in this one with these guys reacting to Superman. I can't even think of any other times it happens. So I'm going to be watching for that as we go, though. It's just for humor. No other reason, really.
Yeah.
And to explain the science. Gotta have that.
Gotta have the explanation in there somehow. I think it's funny.
So Stoke pushes a key with his glove, and the city starts to shake. Meanwhile, Superman is still flying around, and then he busts through the wall and swipes the glove and the gun, going obviously very fast. See, Stoke, don't make it easy. Don't tell him what the thing is that he needs to stop.
Simple. Broke the sound barrier.
Did you notice when he goes with his glove, he doesn't actually touch the keyboard? The sound pushes the key down. Yeah, I thought that was interesting because of the producer binder that I have. They kind of talked a little bit about logistics of that and how they would need to rig the keyboard key to be able to be pulled down from below. So that's how they did that.
Oh, cool.
So I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Nice. So the city stops shaking. Superman tells Stokes that he broke the sound barrier, and then Superman picks him up and flies him away.
Now let's go for a little ride, Lenny.
No. You see, you don't understand. I have this problem. It's kind of a Rain Man thing. I hate flying.
You'd hate it more if I dropped you, so you'd better hold still.
All right, so now we are at my favorite part of the episode, after the Kurth Awards. Lois, Perry, and Clark are walking out of the awards on the red carpet, and Clark is holding his little award. He obviously won. Lois has a cute but maybe controversial updo. I always loved it. I liked just seeing her hair done different ways in season 1 and 2 and a couple of episodes of season 3. We were not going to talk about season 3. Perry says that he's proud of Clark. Then Lois is super adorable. She turns to Clark with a giant smile on her face and says, "Not as proud as I was. That was a great speech. Good for you, Lois."
Nice
Perry.
turnaround.
I wish we could have seen all that stuff.
I agree.
That's the
Would've been
stuff
cool.
I want to see. I want to see that.
Exactly.
Ugh.
Perry, meanwhile, is like, "Whoa, back the truck up. What changed?" And Lois says she's just glad to have such a good partner. There's a honk somewhere out there, and Perry says that he'll be right there. He turns to Lois and Clark and says that every time Alice sees him in one of these monkey suits, she just can't wait to rip it off, which I thought was cute.
Oh my.
Perry. I don't want to think about it, but it's cute. Perry exits and Lois grabs Clark's arm and asks how she rates as a date. Clark gives her an A+.
I hung on your arm decoratively,
You did.
fawned appropriately,
Absolutely.
and just faded into the background during your big moment.
You were beautiful yet invisible.
Make me go through another night like that and I'll rip out your spleen.
Okay, fair enough.
Clark says that it's smaller than he thought, and Lois is like, yeah, it's not that big of a deal. So Clark asks where he should keep it, and Lois says she keeps hers in the bottom of a closet. Cut to the next scene, where Lois walks into her apartment, sets the keys down, and runs over to her little cabinet, taking a key off the top and opening the doors. She removes a faux bookcase and turns on the light, showcasing 3 beautiful awards with a blue velvet background. Just then, Superman flies in the window and says thank you for helping him to stop Stoke. He calls her brave. So she shares the credit with Clark, and I am shocked and floored because previously, season 1 Lois, or at least beginning of season 1 Lois, would have taken all the credit.
Or even beginning of this episode.
True.
So, good job, Lois.
Absolutely. Superman asks what the awards are in the cabinet. He says, "You sure do keep them up." He goes, "I like the lighting. It makes them look ... bigger." Hint, hint.
Yeah.
Hint. Does he want her to find out?
He's always dropping those. I'm thinking the pilot where he's like, "I'll be around and around. I've been around."
Yeah.
Like,
Uh-huh.
are you hoping she might figure it out, or what is happening here?
He wants her to, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah. So he walks over to Lois and says, "Well, I better be going." Lois stops him and hands him a white rose. He goes, "What's this?"
Hello. Duh.
Investigative reporter, dude. It's a rose. It's
He means
like,
what's this for? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what he meant.
I know, but it's funny. So she goes, "It's a rose," and he goes, "What's this for?" Okay, maybe start with "What's this for?" And she says, "Do I have to have a reason?" Then she kisses him on the cheek in a very cute, romantic-ish moment. He responds, "I guess not." Then he says goodnight and flies out the window while she watches him. And she turns around and goes in a very sing-song happy voice, "Good night." This girl is lovesick, and so am I, because their chemistry is amazing. And that's our show. The end.
Oh, Superman, just giving off so many mixed signals.
He
So many.
Do you remember the last time you were at Lois's apartment, Superman? Some things were said. It was not romantic. And here we are again. You sure you want to start this?
Exactly.
In fact, I know, I don't know if this was intentional, but when she does give the rose, there is kind of a look on Superman's face. Like,
oh, crap. Yeah.
Yeah, just very brief, where he's like, ooh, maybe I should go. Because he just came over to just spend a little extra time with her. But she's giving him flowers and kissing him, and he's like, yeah, I better go. But then he comes back.
Maybe this wasn't, totally second guessing. Maybe this wasn't a good idea.
He's just having trouble helping himself with he just wants to be with her.
It's so sad.
Well, do you have anything else you guys would like to add? New things you noticed?
I want a Kurth Award.
Ooh.
Oh yeah,
I want one.
seriously.
I know there's at least one out there, still out there, but it has been reused and re-etched over, and it makes me so sad.
Oh,
They
that's
reused
sad.
it for something.
There's 3 Lois ones and 1 Clark one.
Yeah, so there's 4, but I know there's at least one still there somewhere. So whoever has the other ones, contact me at, no, I'm just kidding. Yes, but not really kidding.
Our socials for
Reach
sure.
out. Let me know.
So one thing I appreciate about this episode is the way that Lois, Clark, and Superman were all integrated into the A plot in what I felt was kind of an organic way. There's a lot of times where it's a Superman plot and we're just trying to get Lois in here somehow. Or if it's a Lois and Clark plot, we're just trying to shoehorn in Superman maybe at the end where he does a big rescue. But this one was nice because you have Lois and Clark investigating this sound thing. Lois gets involved with it through being at the bank when it first happens. Superman would get involved with this because the guy's off robbing banks and he stops bank robberies. We've seen him do it before. So it seems very natural that they should all be part of it and nothing seems kind of forced. So I appreciate that about this plot. I like that this villain, he isn't hyper focused on, taking down Superman. It's sort of just a side quest. He's after the money, the gold, and he's been plotting this whole thing with the knowledge that Superman might try to stop him. So he's got the contingency plan. He's got the Superman setting on his gun and his glove, but he's not focused on Superman. He's just like, if he shows up, I'll take care of him, but I want the gold. And I like that about this villain. In fact, I think Lenny Stoke, honestly, is one of my maybe top 10 one-off villains because he's not super silly. He's well-rounded. They give him like this rock star, but also forgetful, but also likes women, but is also a little bit ditzy. But he is smart enough to create, or at least to steal Derek Hamden's ideas into making this technology. I don't know. I just like him. I'm sorry, I have like 10 pages of notes, but we already talked about a lot of them, so. Skipping these.
Yeah. Let's see, I'll talk about my script issues and things after you're done. Because it's lengthy. This could be a very long episode.
Oh dear.
I did make a note that I feel like Lois could really use Dr. Friskin now, and I feel really bad for her that it's 6 months off, and that she did see a therapist in the last episode, but it was all a farce, and it was all, trying to... She needs one. After everything she's been through, I feel like she needs one. And
for sure.
It could have helped her
now
with
she's not going to trust him now.
No!
After the last episode. No.
Goodness. Well, one last thing, I think, it's just a thing about Jimmy, this new Jimmy. We talked about the motorcycle and the biker jacket, stuff like that. But this episode, and I know the next one too, is going to be Jimmy trying to prove himself like he's a complete novice. You may call this guy Jimmy Olsen, but I'm not buying it. This is not Jimmy Olsen. This is not the same character season 1. They've done a reset on him. They have made him just beginning as a photographer. Are you warming up to him yet, Julie? Is Justin Whaley going to be okay?
He's all right.
Julie, will you tell us a little bit more about your versions of the script and some of the changes that we, maybe missed out on?
Oh my. By a little, you mean a lot?
Well,
because there's a lot.
Just give us the highlights here.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, wait.
The original stories and the outlines, for me, I think are always so interesting. For this one, like I said, I'm pretty sure that I have every single revision, even the beginning and the outlines and all of that. And I always find it interesting when there's handwritten notes or handwritten comments on the original going, okay, what? No, absolutely not. This is stupid. Those are great little notes. I love it. For example, this one, it had them watching the VHS of the bank robbery, but they did not get sleepy. So there was a written comment like, shouldn't they be sleepy? Things like that. Clark changes to Superman in one scene, and there's a handwritten note. Why? For whose benefit? Okay. And the fact that the speakers were originally 6-foot tall hovering cylinders. That would have been kind of interesting.
What, are we living in the future?
Yeah, very futuristic.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, no. How about we just stick them on
Yeah.
walls?
Like, yeah, the 3M things where
Yeah,
you
exactly. This 3M sticker on the back.
Stickers, yeah.
Well, those are very futuristic speakers. I did want to add. Those are like Bluetooth speakers of today.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
something they had back then.
One thing, when Clark was asking Lois to be his date to the Kerfs, there was a nice little comment next to this because her response was, "Don't ask me that again today. In fact, don't ask me that again, period. If this is ever going to come up again, I'll do it, okay?" And then he nods and changes the subject. The handwritten notes were basically like, oh, this is way too harsh, which I agree. There were several scenes cut from the original scripts. One was a scene of them going to the University of Metropolis and talking to a couple people about Camden and Stoke, apparently. There was a scene of them researching, both of them at payphones. That was cut, very boring. There was an additional scene, which I thought was interesting. So Clark goes to meet with Miss Valdez, looking for Derek Camden because it was her number on that index card that was on the wall. And they didn't really explain this in the episode. They had a little voiceover about it, but it wasn't, So he goes to actually see her, talks to her a bit, realizes that she's not really comprehending what he's saying, and then he starts talking to her in Spanish, but is failing really badly. He says something along the lines of like, I really should have paid more attention in school or something.
How do you claim to be able to order dinner in 200 odd languages?
Yes.
Yeah, seriously.
And not know how to speak any other languages, actually.
Wow.
So that was kind of written in the margin, like Clark's intelligence ? So they questioned it like, no, absolutely not. So in the next revision, they changed it to him actually speaking Spanish very well. But yeah, that was ultimately cut out. A few more interesting tidbits. Camden originally worked for Star Labs. He did not talk all crazy. He simply just answered their questions like a normal dude.
Oh.
In one of the scripts, it had Clark ultimately finding Camden dead. So that ultimately led them to Stoke because he was the only option for the bad guy. By default, it became Stoke.
Wow.
In the next revision, it had Clark finding Camden, hiding out because he thought he was going to be murdered, which, kind of is what happened in the episode. But one of the security guards actually followed him there. The security guard pulls out a gun. Clark melts the hammer part of the gun, then freeze breaths it, and the gun jams. The side note in the margin of this says, how? Secretly? What? Question mark. All right, so here is a big one. In the original draft, Lois gets close to Stoke instantly. They don't talk at the club after the concert. He actually invites her to this after party thing at his big gothic looking mansion that has gargoyles and stained glass windows and is all like medieval and crazy. He ends up telling Lois everything, like his entire plan, kisses her, and then walks away. And she just ends up like spitting and wiping her mouth all disgusted. Okay. And again, there was a note on the side going, that's awfully quick for him to let her into his plan.
Yeah, the whole plan.
Agree.
I think, yeah. He's not that dumb. He's not a dumb bad guy.
He's not that dumb. But I want to see this mansion that's like all gargoyled and stained glass stuff and everything. That would have been cool.
Yeah. I'm just picturing the one from Citizen Kane with like the gargoyles, just the zoo animals over here and those tennis courts.
So we all know the scene where Jimmy is all tied up in the building and it's about to collapse on him. This scene was not in that original draft at all. It was a little different. This, I think, will make Jen sad. So, Jen, this scene was originally going to be an abandoned hotel with 12-year-old boys looking for their missing dog who had run in there. The kids start screaming when the building shakes, and Superman hears it and runs in or flies in, scoops the kids up both arms, flies them out to the sidewalk, deposits them there. One of the kids is yelling that his dog is still in there. So Superman shoots back towards the hotel and saves the, and I quote, scruffy puppy. Oh, I want to
Okay,
see
so
the
he saves them. I was
puppy.
getting ready to be mad.
No, but I want to see him save the scruffy puppy.
I know.
Just give him, what is it? 6, 7 episodes. We'll get there. We'll have
I
some
know, it's
puppies.
true.
We'll save some
It's true.
dogs.
Yes, but I was like,
$29.95.
He's never like, oh wait, I was gonna say he's never like scooped up kids and like flown them, has he? But he did in Illusions, right? Wait,
Technically, Jimmy is a kid. I'm gonna just say it. He
Jimmy,
is.
yeah, I guess. Yeah.
When has the billboard thing happened? The billboard thing hasn't happened yet. Well, he didn't scoop up the
He didn't scoop up the kid though. Yeah,
No, he didn't
I was trying to
scoop
think
them
of
up.
that.
He tried
But
to
I could just see him scooping up both
scoop
kids.
up
And,
what's his face, like the hologram kid. He tried to.
yeah.
True. Hologram kid.
True. All right.
Well, darn. Oh well.
He throws
Yeah, I
snowballs
was like,
at kids
oh, a
later.
dog scene, man.
Man, come on. Writers.
Yeah, and
Some dogs in there.
yeah, and Stoke is seeing this over his monitor, and there's this voiceover that says, saving puppies and kids. You're just a flying Hallmark card.
Cute.
Okay. All right, so now we'll get to the end of the episode here. The end scene in Stoke's lair. Very, very different. Okay, so here we go. Excited? I'm excited. It's very weird.
Very weird.
So Clark turns off the power, but of course, Stoke has a backup generator. Stoke shoves Superman. He falls into Lois, knocking her over. So Lois starts fighting Stoke, described as in the script, she is all over him like ugly on a monkey. The gladiator woman races in with a pistol and aims it at Lois. Lois does a spin kick roundhouse combination and knocks the gun out of her hand. The gun goes flying. Lois and Stoke both dive for it at the same time, but Lois gets it first, rolls and aims out of the way, and then aims the gun at the glowing backup generator in the corner and shoots it. All of the power dies, including the one that's hurting Superman. Stoke then grabs Lois's wrist and twists it. The gun drops into his free hand, and he puts the pistol to Lois's head. And that's when Superman gets up, tries to get her, but there's the force field. Molly's face. You look confused.
No.
No. All right, so then the actual end scene at her apartment is also different. Superman shows up at the apartment to thank her for saving his life, because she had saved his life in that revision. She comments, well, hey, a few dozen more times and we'll be even. True.
Yeah.
Superman is actually the one who gives Lois the white rose. She smiles as she takes it, says that white roses are her favorite. How did you know? Oh, right, you're Superman. Like, he knows everything. What is he, Santa?
Oh.
Like, what?
Yeah, no kidding. How would he know that?
Then,
How would
I know,
yeah.
right? He then notices the awards and blah, blah, blah. Nothing really changes there. But before he leaves, he kisses her cheek. And it says, lingering just a moment longer than the perfect gentleman might. She closes her eyes in heaven before he breaks and moves off. So it's kind of reversed.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which do you like more?
Oh. I don't like him giving her I don't like that because he should not be. But
Giving
as
her
Clark, he
false
should
hope,
be, but
yeah.
not a Superman. But
Yes.
I'm wondering if when they wrote this, it was without the knowledge that they were going to do Madam X right before, or they didn't really know about that. This writer wasn't aware of that plot and didn't know that Lois would be saving Superman in that episode. I mean, that would have been the time for him to come over and be like, "Thanks for saving my life."
That's true.
And then maybe they thought that was a little weird to have that twice, but
right.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting that it's basically the complete opposite of what we got in the episode.
No, I'm not saying I love either version, but I think I like what we got here
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, I agree. Just because it kind of gives her false hope, and if he's trying to set it up so that Clark can have a shot, he should not be doing that.
Yeah, I agree. Clark shouldn't have done any of that in that final scene, honestly. Don't go there and give her false hope. Dude.
Superman.
Yeah, Superman. As
Yeah.
Superman.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
No,
I mean,
no.
this happens again in Church of Metropolis where they've been at this social function and he's just had such a great time with her and had all the wafts in his heart that he just wants to see her again.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, how can I do that? Ooh, Superman, yes. But we know that eventually he's going to have to end that if he wants to go anywhere. Which I like. You know, I like that this is one of those plots.
Yeah, once we get to Metallo, we'll get that.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's like, no.
I mean, you could say
I know
this
I've been
is
giving
something
you
the
mixed
writers
signals, but
are
no.
consciously doing so that, you know, that it presents this layer of oops.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oops, maybe I should back off.
Jen, what is your choice for the most bonkers excuse Clark uses in this episode?
Well, I liked after Clark asked Lois to be his date. Clark, here's the emergency. We don't know what it is. And maybe the smart thing we should do is to split up, blah, blah, blah. And Lois freaks out. So I don't think it was the smartest thing right in that moment, but he makes believe that he's got a lead when actually it's an emergency, and he just had to kind of shuffle off to the side. Causes drama, sets up the plot to keep moving forward. I don't know. It wasn't great, but that's the one I could.
Yeah, the only other one I
don't know.
heard was like when he x-rays down and sees the electricity
Yeah.
and he says something
And
and she's
sees-
like, how did you know? And he's like, lucky guess. Like, okay. Sure.
Yeah. There was that one too. I mean, that one would have been
the
good, too.
bathroom.
Oh, that one. But that wasn't to Lois.
That wasn't to Lois.
Do you have to, do they have to be to Lois? To
Oh,
count?
I don't know. I didn't. They don't. I guess they probably don't have to be, do they? Could have been.
Ooh, or the one where, well, it's not really an excuse, but where he says, oh, it's the sound. It's that thing that made you guys just, I mean, made us all
yeah,
just...
us all. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, we could ask the audience, what's your favorite? Leave us a comment on our social media. Go over there. You know you want to.
Or telling Perry he has a little headache when really he's had his brain blasted by...
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it
Could
does
have been
hurt.
accurate.
If it does
Could have
have a
been
headache.
accurate.
I'm sure it does have a headache, but...
Oh, that was part of one of the revisions too. I forgot to mention that was funny. During that scene, Lois is just so irritated with him and she finds out he has a headache and she says something along the lines of like, I bet it hurts when I yell like this. Right in his
That's
ear.
funny. I actually like that. That should have been in there. That's funny.
I was like, yikes, Lois. What the heck?
No,
Not funny.
It is.
It's mean.
It's very mean.
But it's so Lois.
Today's edition of Clark forgot to use his disguise. Clark, your mother made you that Superman costume so that you can be disguised when performing super feats. So you need to remember that. You need to change into the suit before flying down to the basement of clubs, knocking over people, ripping electrical panels out, and then being like, oh yeah, maybe I should change into Superman now. No. You do that beforehand. Okay, sir? Thank you. Use the suit. Mommy made it.
Just use the suit. Your mother made it for you.
Did your mommy dress you?
Oops.
Oops. Did you say oops?
Julie, were there any goofs or bloopers in this episode?
There were a few that I've noticed. You can see the lighting apparatus in the sound man's helmet when it's glaring when he's out on the street. Let's see. Why doesn't Clark hear the sound at the bank when he is right next door? When he can hear that sound when it's way across the street. I'm going to guess maybe the sound wasn't very loud in the bank, just loud enough to be like music.
And he was tuning it out. Yeah.
And he was just way too excited about his date.
He's got to fine tune those superpowers sometimes. He can't listen to everything or he would be so overwhelmed. So he's probably tuning it out, super excited about going on a date with Lois. So
I'm just betting it's probably the volume.
It probably just doesn't register as that unusual of a sound, because when they're listening to it on the VCR, it's not like he's going, "Oh, what's that?" He's just like looking at Lois and Jimmy, being like, "Oh, I guess this sound is meaningful."
Right.
We already mentioned Jimmy's first photo assignment? Question mark. It's definitely not, but okay.
Yeah. Nope.
And then the only other one I've got written down here is, why is Perry at the Kurth Awards? Because Lois said it's only for nominees and their date. Is it because editors can go? Maybe every editor is invited as well.
I was thinking, the sign says Metropolis Press Club presents these Kurth Awards. So you presume it's for reporters in Metropolis, of which there are not a whole lot. So, yeah, I think the editors get to come.
They must. But that's all I really noticed. It's not a goof, but I just remembered the name of Miss Valdez is weird. I'm still very confused about it. I always thought it was Amy Valdez. It's not. From the script, it's no Amy Valdez. But in some of the papers that I have in this big giant binder, it's got like clearance documents where they have to clear names and music titles and all, like bulletin boards and all of that. It's written as Naomi. So I'm like, was it supposed to be Naomi, or was it supposed to be No Amy? Because it's written both ways in different things that I have.
I thought I heard Noemi, which I have a friend named Noemi.
Noemi?
Yeah.
Noemi
is like the Latina version of Naomi. I've had a student named Noemi. I wonder if
so it was
Clark
Noemi.
is just
Noemi.
mispronouncing it, but I do remember hearing it as
song Chang or something. Whatever. What was it that he said?
Maybe it was Chang. Lap Sang Su Chang.
Lap Sang Su Chang. Oh dear.
But yeah, it's definitely said Noemi Valdez.
Noemi. Okay.
Yeah.
I said no Amy. No more smart kids. Get them out of here.
No Amy.
All right. Well, there was a bunch of real life stuff in this episode. We got a mention of NASA, the 1988 film Rain Man, got another mention of Elvis and the Colonel. Lois brought up Yanni, a Greek musician who, in September 1993, performed a concert at the Acropolis of Athens titled Live at the Acropolis. So even though I'd never heard of him, he was somewhat relevant at this time.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Lenny Stoke's This Is Your Brain and This Is Your Brain on Sound was a reference to the 1987 public service commercial that used to run all the time. There were different versions of it, but it showed an egg usually, and there was one version where it was like, this is your brain, this is drugs, this is your brain on drugs. Any questions would be at the end of that, and that was, oh my gosh, we would see that all the time, even during like children's cartoons, and we're like, drugs, what are those? Like, okay,
constantly on
Payless
TV.
Drugstore, or is that you talking? I don't know. Okay. That's fine. So Derek Camden's reference to the appointment in Samara is in reference to a short story about death personified. Perry mentioned Secretariat, a horse, Triple Crown winning thoroughbred, born in 1970, died in 1989. We got a mention of Social Security, which is a system in America begun in 1935, where ideally, while you're working, you pay into it, and then when you're unable to work, you can get some of the money back. Kind of like a pension, only it's a government thing, and it's always in jeopardy. Most people can begin to draw the funds sometime in their 60s. I don't know how old Mayor Sharp is, but burn. I zoomed in on some of Lois's books on her faux little bookcase thing that she takes off. I could not see all of them, but here's some that I did see. The Gondola Scam by Jonathan Gash. Elizabeth the Great by Elizabeth Jenkins. These are all real books. They weren't just fake titles. We have Michael Reagan on the Outside Looking In by Michael Reagan. Woman of Tomorrow by Kathy Keaton. I also saw one about Victoria and Albert and one about plant propagation. So Lois has varied interests.
I was very excited when I saw that in HD because you could read them, and I don't remember ever being able to read them before. And I did a book report on that Victorian Albert book in high school, and I was like, hey, it's the same book.
That's cool.
So yeah, real books. I couldn't read all of them, but maybe if I look on a bigger screen sometime. And then finally, Lois's Kurth Awards had some real life things mentioned on them. Her 1991 Kurth Award was for something she wrote on the Gulf War on the front lines. 1992 was for Inside Bush Campaign Headquarters. That's George Bush #1, senior. And in 1993, sexual harassment in the military, which was a real thing, so I'm adding it. Why not? Yeah, those are the real life things. So that brings us to Jen. Were there any fuzzy creatures in this episode?
I didn't see any, but there could have been.
I mean, I saw her fish tank, but I didn't see any actual fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe assuming the fish were in there, but
yeah.
I don't know.
We could always keep track of our fish tank appearances, at least. Oh, there it is. There it is.
Well, fish tank. Fish tank was there.
Fish tank.
But
no scruffy puppies.
No scruffy puppies. Boo.
And now comes the time for us to rate the episode on a scale from A+ to F-. So for me, I'll just keep this short. I think the episode is well directed. There's some great shots with the camera panning around and the scene where they're driving the car with the sunrise. I like a lot of this. The scene with Lenny singing the song, that whole sequence is great. There's a lot of really well done things in this episode. And I mentioned before, I like how the plots between Lois, Clark, Superman, they're all integrated. The A plot and the B plot kind of go together. But I don't like pretty much anything with Jimmy in this episode except for the two parts I mentioned, the Lois and him interaction where she's mad. That's funny. But other than that, I'm like, oh, does Jimmy need to be here? And towards the end of the episode, it gets a little cartoony with Lois taking down the 3 burly security guards and Superman flying at 700 miles an hour to rip off this glove while somehow not injuring anybody. I just like, okay, sure. I have to give this episode a B+. What about you, Julie?
For me, I'll keep this short as well. I really like this song, obviously, because it gets stuck in your head forever. I really like anytime Lois goes undercover. They don't do it enough, honestly. The banter was great in this episode, the babbling back and forth. For me, I gave it a B+ as well.
So there's my turn. I'm so sorry in advance. I'm going to say that there were some beautiful hidden moments in this episode. The Kurth Awards, the moment at the end where he sees her award collection. I did enjoy that. Lois asking Clark to be her date. Jimmy, I started really loving him in this one. And my favorite line in this was, what do you do? Stay up late and memorizing maps. Again, I love that stupid line. It's all gold. But I'm sorry, I just don't really care about the storyline. I thought it was kind of wackadoodle. But there's nothing terribly wrong with it. It's just kind of ho-hum. So I'm so sorry. I gave it a C+. I gave it a C+. So I feel like
it's fine.
Last season, I love season 2. Look, I love season 2. Last season, I was like the nice one. I'm giving all the, oh, it's a B+, it's an A-. No, this, I gotta, it's just average for me. It's a little above average. So I had to give it a C+.
But see, you also know what's to come and what you like is higher.
True.
So
yeah,
it's fine.
Yes.
I really like this episode. This is one I would watch again, like randomly. I would just pick one and be like, oh, this is a good one. And then, be annoying my husband with the song constantly. I gave mine a B+ because I'm pretty sure I gave Madam X a B, but I don't think it's in the A range. I was really debating the A-, but I'm like, no, I gotta hold those for later in this season. Yeah.
Talking about Something kind of cool. We talked last week about the Next Week On promos, but ABC back in the day also used to do a very special kind of promo on occasional Saturday nights, and that was the night before Lois and Clark would air. And that was during the credits of the Saturday night movie, they would show a skit promo featuring Lois and Clark in character talking about the episode that would air the next day. And we believe that the first one that was ever put out was one for Honeymoon in Metropolis, season 1. I don't know of any others that happened in season 1. In season 2, there were 5 that I know of. One for Wall of Sound, which I actually believe they created for the rerun of Wall of Sound rather than the initial run. There was one made for A Bolt from the Blue. Then they made one for Season's Greetings. There was one for Return of the Prankster, and the last known one was for Target Jimmy Olsen. Because these skit promos aired on Saturday nights, and I was, after the first couple that I noticed airing, I would begin to tape pretty much every Saturday night movie and hope that they would show one. And it was always kind of disappointing when they didn't, because I was like, but why?
Just wasted 2 hours of tapes.
Exactly.
Tomorrow on Lois and Clark.
When a twisted rock star threatens Metropolis, we go undercover to stop him.
And Lois, I have the perfect outfit for you.
Why me?
Oh, leather's not my thing.
Oh, like it's mine. What are you into, spandex?
Well.
Oh, Clark, I don't want to know.
All right, we'll stop that one real quick.
Yay.
So, like, clearly they're wearing their outfits from Tempest Fugitive, and they're in the barn. Yeah. So that's why, this was made for the rerun. It's a little naughty of them to be talking about leather and spandex.
Yeah.
All right, here's our next one. Maybe.
Tomorrow night on Lois and Clark, they say Christmas brings out the kid in people.
But this is ridiculous.
A real Scrooge fills the air with a mind-altering drug that makes people act like children.
And it won't be pretty.
What do you mean? I'm as mature now as I was when I was 12.
Like I said, it won't be pretty.
Listen, Boy Wonder, I'd like to see what you were like when you were a kid. I bet you that you were the most...
So cute.
Cute.
They're adorable.
Ugh.
I like how she grabs his tie and pulls him off stage. Very cute.
His cute little face. It's like, ee.
I like how she mentions being 12 because that's the age she also references in Season's Greetings.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not sure what outfits they're wearing in this one. Julie, or did either of you recognize? Well, that's a face, Lois. Maybe it might be Metallo.
Maybe Metallo.
I'm the wrong person to ask if it's an episode title. No clue.
Yeah, I don't know. They're in the Daily Planet.
It's not a very recognizable outfit of hers.
No, but we could look up his tie on the database. But
yeah, true.
Right.
All right, here's our next.
We'll get there.
Tomorrow night on Lois and Clark. Wait a minute.
I love this one.
Lois, I was
so funny.
Very funny. As I was saying, tomorrow night on Lois and Clark.
Bronson Pinchot is back as the prankster.
Oh, just what I need. Another joker in my life.
I'll see you tomorrow night.
I always like that one.
They're wearing the Tempest Fugitive outfits again.
Which I think they just knocked a whole bunch of them out.
Yeah.
When they were filming that.
I guess
at least this one and that other one. Yeah.
No, I love that one.
They slide the credits. It's very creative.
And Clark's so proud of himself when he does it. He's cracking himself up. So cute.
Yep. It's short but sweet. I like it.
Clark Kent, what are you doing?
Well, if we're going undercover as newlyweds, I thought we should look the part.
Boy, the things I have to put up with for a good story. You can put me down now, Samson.
Oh, okay.
Join us tomorrow night on Lois and Clark, the new adventures of Superman, when we pose as honeymooners to expose a deadly conspiracy.
The two of us in the honeymoon suite, alone, together. Just think of the possibility.
It's strictly business, Clark.
Of course. But I have dibs on the bed.
Over my dead body.
How cute, our first fight.
You are impossible.
Don't worry about her wedding night jitters. See you tomorrow night. We'll flip for the bed.
Forget it, Clark.
We'll flip for the bed.
Forget it.
Flip for the bed.
For the bed.
He's wearing a tux in that one. I don't know.
I always loved that one too.
Flip for the bed, and he never gets the bed. Spoiler alert.
Clark, there's a guy in Metropolis who has Superman's powers.
I know, and I think he's got a crush on you.
Oh, please.
I thought you fell for those guys in capes.
You have to see him to believe him.
And we'll see you tomorrow night on ABC.
All right, and finally...
Tomorrow on Lois and Clark, someone tries to brainwash Jimmy.
You remember that DEA agent? Maybe he could help us.
We don't need him, folks.
Well, maybe we do. You're always vanishing.
Well, that's not exactly true, but can we continue this later? I'll be right back.
You see what I mean?
We don't need him.
I like that
know.
one because it references like the whole problem that they're having at that point in the season with him always running off, and I feel like that one is like a snippet from the show itself.
It's cute. It's
Yeah.
cute.
Do you have a favorite?
I always loved the Honeymoon in Metropolis one, but
Yeah.
I feel like the prankster is pretty darn cute. I feel like that one's real good.
Those are the two that I like. I like the sliding one and the honeymoon one.
Yeah.
But they're all cute.
Yeah.
Pulling the tie is cute. They're all cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember I'd have to watch the end credits for everything going, come on, please, please. And then nope.
If you guys are interested in seeing those, check out our YouTube channel and let us know which one's your favorite.
Or our Instagram or Facebook or I'm sure we're putting them everywhere, right?
Thank you so much for listening today. If you're following along on the rewatch journey with us, our next episode will be Season 2, Episode 3, The Source.
Next week on Lois and Clark.
Why can't you stop it?
It ain't me. The computer's gone crazy. Metropolis is out of control. And when an informant blows the whistle,
Sure, if you get elected, we'll have a lot to write about.
Lois takes the heat for exposing the criminals.
Uh-oh.
Now,
the new subway's out of control.
The governor's on it.
So are my folks.
can Superman save the day?
Have they stopped it yet?
No, it'll be here any second.
Or is it the end of the line? Peter Scolari guest stars in all new Lois and Clark next Sunday here on ABC.
You can find us on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and Facebook as Folks Forever. That's FOLCS FOREVER. Or you can visit our website at folksforeverpod.wixsite.com/podcast. And until next time, the doors are locked, the alarm's on, and you ain't getting in.
Lotus.
Lotus.
It's gonna be a night.
Like to do
Lotus.
Flower. She's a flower.
Oh, Lordy.